Take a look at modeling this fireplace. Let's kind of approximate. We'll say maybe it's like, oh, those chairs are probably 3 feet. So let's say it's 5 feet wide here. I'm just going to resize this image and let's see if we can figure out how to get this modeled. So just going to do this on the fly. It looks like there's a bit of a chamfer here. So let's start by modeling maybe the base of the fireplace. So we'll say that we're coming out from the wall 3 feet, coming across 5 feet, and coming back another 3 feet. All right, and this is all going to die into this wall right here. And like I said, this is the out-of-the-box template, so it's not going to necessarily be anything specific to a project. Now where we have these chamfers here at like a 45-degree angle, it looks like they're kind of straight all the way up, more or less, and then the upper part tapers. So we got to get this flare here running around. So we're running, I'm going to ignore the chamfers for right now, because I think we can get that pretty simply once we get the rest of it figured out. So let's say that these walls go up to, looks about as tall as it is wide. So we'll say this is about 4.5 feet to where the flute starts, or the flare starts. So we'll make this 4.5 feet. I'm not going to worry about the opening or the hearth at this point. So if we're going from 5 feet wide, that flares out, we'll say, I don't know, like 6 inches. Let's go up to options, complex profiles, profile manager, and we'll create a new profile here. And we'll go profile flare. And let's grab our fill tool. We'll say it's 6 inches by 6 inches, or maybe it's a little bit taller, 8 inches maybe. All right, so we'll put that up another 2 inches. We can pull that back to here. And floor plan, what is my wall thickness? I'm just going to match the wall thickness, 5 inches. And realistically, these walls don't have to be any specific composite or anything. We'll just use that for now. And what is that building material? Let's make sure that all that matches. Masonry structural. So we'll add 5 inches to the depth here. Something like that. And then we can give this a flare like that and apply it to a wall. That'll probably be fine. Oh. We'll remove all of those. Okay, so that should be good to go from here. All right, so let's pull this stuff up in 3D and see if we can get that piece. All right, so again, not worried about the surfaces or anything. We'll apply that profile. That's looking okay. We just have to get that chamfer in there now. I'll figure out how to like kind of route that back. So there's that piece, and then we need a piece that goes up from there. It looks like this plane right here is vertical, and then the sides chamfer in. So what are the sides going in at? What is that angle? Looks like maybe about an 80-degree angle. So if we copy this up, offset this out, right? And then all of these walls maybe are 16 feet or something like that. Maybe not quite that far. Whatever it needs to be there. And then we'll take these walls and we will cant them in 80 degree. Oh, other way. Oh, that's too steep. A little guess and check design here. It's getting there. Okay, so now we just have to figure out how to chamfer these pieces. So these actually pretty simply put, and actually let's go ahead and put back of the fireplace here. Why not? All right, so that's going to intersect there and there. Let's see, why are we not intersecting cleanly? It might be this wall. Yep. So it might need to have a different intersection priority there. Okay. Let's see here. So if we're looking at these guys, all right, we can fillet and chamfer these. Let's just, this is going to take a little guess and check design here. Let's fillet and chamfer those 6 inches and see what that gets us. That's actually not too bad. Although that one's, oh, I see. Nope, that's not going to work. So we need to figure out what that slope is. So it might need to be a custom profile. Let's look at this in elevation view. Sorry, I'm kind of bumbling through this, but hopefully we'll get to some kind of conclusion. So we need to miter this. So here's what I'm thinking we'll do. Is that if we say, well, actually, let's go ahead and just draw this in. All right, so we have that, and maybe this comes down to like right there. Right, so that would be that part of the profile. I'm going to go ahead and put another notch right here because we want that to taper in. So like if this comes in, let's say 4 inches, and because we're going to be not perpendicular, we'll be 45 degrees off. I think that this should work. All right, so we'll do that, and we'll pull this to here, and we'll copy that. And then let's go ahead and duplicate, and we'll call this FP chamfer. And we'll paste that in here. All right. The one thing I didn't do is I didn't change this to masonry, and that would match. So that should then come to there. If we wanted to spoon that in, we could also give it like a little bit of a curve. That might help. Again, a little bit of trial and error here. We'll go ahead and save that, and we'll come back into 3D. And I don't want to use a wall because walls like to intersect with walls. So we'll make sure that this is at an angle, something like that. And we'll apply that profile as a beam. That's not going to cut there either. I think the issue is the compound angle here. So let's see, how far are we from where those two walls are intersecting? Here is 10 inches. And then here is about 6.5 inches. Guess and check design here. And let's go ahead and take these guys and we'll make them just a bit thicker. And like if these walls are 8 inches or something like that, right? The reference line is all on the outside, so that should be fine. And then where that comes through there, flares in. All right, let's see what this gets us. operations. That's my operator. Target, subtraction, execute, and what do we got there? Okay. We're getting there. I don't know why these guys. So if that's my target, that's my operator. Oh, I bet it's this. Let's see here. I bet these, yeah, because that's already trimming to that. So if we say edit that profile, and we'll make this. We'll make that masonry, and we will save that. So it should be the same building material now. What do we got? Hey, that's getting there. So I think it's probably just a bit of guess and check to figure out like how we get that chamfer there. It's really close. So let's go back to the chamfer, and I think that whole upper piece probably needs to come in top and bottom a couple more inches. So if we say edit, and we'll take this guy, and we'll pull that back 2 inches. Grab this edge, pull it back 2 inches. Oops. That doesn't want to snap, so we'll just pull it to there. Let's see what that gets us. That's closer. And I think that that's kind of the idea, is basically a perpendicular SEO. I don't think we can get it with, I don't think we can get it by mitering these two walls, again, because this wall is vertical and this wall is sloping. And again, the nice thing about this is, like, if we decide that we need to change it, maybe this piece needs to come down a little bit, right? We can edit this profile and we can massage that down. So if we grab our marquee, we want to pull this down maybe another 4 inches or something. All right, maybe this has to come back another 1/2 inch to get it closer. I hate this like unexact guess and check design, but it's getting us there. I think that that's really kind of what we're looking at. So if we mirror a copy of this around here, and again, this is the operator. These are the targets, subtraction, execute, and isolate. We're really getting that, yeah. You know, and if in plan view, if we realize that that's not the right look, well, let's put these on the correct story. All right, we can grab our marquee here. Obviously the floor plan needs some work in terms of graphic appearance. So if we want to stretch this out, maybe it needs to go another 2 feet wider or something, right? And there we go. So that's how I would probably approach that particular design. And obviously, like, you can get the exact sort of dimensions, the angles and everything. And the other thing is, you could use a, for the fireplace opening, you could use an actual opening here, right? So if we dump that opening, you can say that opening, if it's an arched or square opening, you could say it's a square opening, you could say it's a custom opening, and you could actually make that shape whatever you need it to be. The inner pieces, I would add a slab here, slab for the hearth, walls for the brick liner, you know, as detailed as we need to be for this early on stage. So that's kind of I guess a quick bumble through trying to make something similar to this.